Hey guys, Sean here. So I just watched Sonic the Hedgehog on Netflix because a few weeks ago they released the trailer for the third movie, and so I wanted. So I thought, you know what? Let's go back and talk about the other two movies in preparation because 3 comes out in December, so I wanted to talk about the other two. So let's start with the first one. So Sonic the Hedgehog is a 2020 action-adventure comedy film based on the video game series published by Sega. The film is directed by Jeff Fowler and written by Pat Casey and Josh Miller and stars James Marsden and Jim Carrey, with Ben Schwartz voicing the titular character. Plot follows Sonic, a blue anthropomorphic hedgehog who can run at supersonic speeds, who teams up with a town sheriff to stop the mad scientist Dr. Robotnik. So, as I said, this movie was directed by Jeff Fowler, written by Patrick Casey and Josh Miller, based on the Sega video games of the same name. The release was released Valentine's Day 2020 with a runtime of 1 hour and 39 minutes. Budget was roughly $90 million and made back $319. So, okay. So, from what I've read about is that when they initially released the trailer in 2019, Sonic's design received a lot of backlash for, how should I say this, looking ugly, apparently. So fans complained, bitched, moaned, and all that stuff to have Paramount change the design, which they did. They changed it. And so they delayed the movie about 3 months in order to change the design. And so what happened? Pretty much that. The movie was originally supposed to come out, I think, in 2019, but due to complaints about the original design, it got pushed back to 2020. I'll say this. A part of me, though, wonders how the movie would have... Because, okay, so the movie got mixed reviews, I think, but it's been liked by a lot of people, although I do wonder how the movie would have fared if they'd kept the original design. That is something I am curious about. But who knows? Hang on, let me fix my camera. That's not right. Alright, there we go. Sorry about that, guys. But yeah, I've managed to pull up the original design on my phone. Hang on. And this is essentially what it was. I'm not sure if you guys can see that because of the glare. Hang on. Here we are. So this was the original design for Sonic, and yeah, I have to agree, it looks really bad. So Paramount saw this and they're like, okay, guys, we hear you. We're gonna fix it. And so that's what they did. They even released a new trailer, which I think essentially was the original trailer, just with Sonic's updated design. And it got a better reception, obviously. And it got a better reception, which is good. But I just wanted to get that out of the way first, the whole thing about Sonic's design being considered, well, shit. And so they changed it. But what about the movie itself? It's a really good movie, I'm not going to lie. The plot is pretty straightforward. It's basically just Sonic trying to adapt into art. Basically, Sonic being forced out of his world, I guess. Not really sure what his world is called, because I've never really played any of the games. Well, not enough to know the lore, I guess. But he comes to Earth to hide, and apparently has been living here for 10 years. And, he runs into James Marsden's character, who basically helps him evade Dr. Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey. who I guess wants his powers for reasons I don't remember. But I'll say this. I like a lot of the actors in this movie. I think the standouts are Carey, Marsden, and Schwartz, because they do have most of the screen time. And I'll say this. I love Jim Carrey, and I don't mean just in this movie. I mean in general. This man has been one of my favorite actors since I was a child. And everybody has said his performance as Robotnik is 90s Jim Carrey, and they're not wrong. This feels like a 90s Jim Carrey. He's so hilarious in this movie. It's not a joke. And I even heard that in the games, Robotnik isn't really a serious character. He's always a goofball, apparently. Which is perfect for Jim Carrey, because Jim Carrey's always been a goofball. He's basically like what people have said about Robin Williams. A human cartoon. You know, just watch, like, for example, just watch his movie The Mask to get that for that. But yeah, I love the actors in this movie. Like, most of the actors are great in this movie. Like, there is one character I hated in this movie, and that is Marsden's sister-in-law, who just hates him for no reason. Like, there is no reason she hates him. She just does, and tries to get her sister to divorce him. Because reasons. It's like, okay. But yeah, so basically, like I said, the main plot of this movie is Sonic basically feels lonely on Earth, and so he unintentionally lets out like a huge burst of his lightning, or whatever you want to call it, which causes a power surge, or causes the power outage, and so the government begrudgingly enlists Robotnik, played by Jim Carrey, to hunt Sonic down. Basically. But yeah, like, I actually liked that they changed Sonic's design, because even I have to agree the original design was crap. But this was a ton of fun. Like, this was a hugely fun movie. Hang on. See, I just don't know what else to say about this movie. It was a ton of fun. Was there anything in this movie I didn't like? Well, Marsden's sister-in-law, I hated her. But other than that, I didn't hate this movie. So, okay, before I forget, Tom Holkenborg did the music for this movie, and I think he does all three movies, the composer for all three movies, which is awesome. And speaking of all three, Jim Carrey's in all three movies, in all three Sonic movies, because if you've seen the trailer, he came back, despite initially saying he was going to try after Sonic 2, but I'm glad he didn't, because this is now his first trilogy. Like, these three Sonic movies are the first time he's ever done a trilogy. Because outside of Dumb and Dumber 2 and Sonic 2, he initially swore off sequels after When Nature Calls, because he apparently did not have a good experience on it. And from what I've read, he only did When Nature Calls due to a contractual obligation. And I think a lot of his ideas were not used. So, yeah, I'm not surprised he had a bad experience on When Nature Calls. But after that, he initially swore off sequels for about... When Nature Calls was 95, about almost 20 years he swore off sequels. I think When Nature Calls was 95, I have to look. But yeah, let's see. Yep, 95, I was right. And so, due to his bad experience on When Nature Calls, we got Son of the Mask, Evan Almighty, and an Ace Ventura movie called Ace Ventura Jr. Pet Detective. Oh, and yeah, we also got When Harry Met Lloyd. Dumb and Dumberer, When Harry Met Lloyd, which was a prequel. All of which were bad. I mean, I haven't seen Ace Ventura Jr., but I've seen the other ones, and they are all bad. Let's see, what else can I say about that? But in terms of Sonic, what can I say? I had a lot of fun. That's all I can really say about it, I think. Though the Marvel DC fan in me did not let the irony of the fantasticalness, I guess you'd say, of seeing the Riddler being fighting with Cyclops. That was actually kind of funny, considering Marsden was Cyclops in the X-Men movies, and Jim Carrey played the Riddler in Batman Forever. So seeing that was actually kind of funny to me, considering I'm a Marvel and DC fan when it comes to the movies. And even Neil McDonough makes a cameo essentially in the movie, and he was Dum Dum Dugan in the MCU. So that three-way Marvel DC cameo appearance thing is actually kind of funny for me. So yeah, I quite enjoyed this movie a lot. So I'm about to watch the sequel because somebody was nice enough to put it on Google Drive, and since my sister's Netflix doesn't have it, they just have the first one, which is weird why Netflix doesn't have the sequel considering it has the first one. But it is what it is. So I'm about to watch Sonic 2, and I'll get you guys after then.